Welcome back to Fred Talk. I am your host, Freddie Valoy, or welcome if this is your first time listening, baby. We are on a summertime schedule, so this episode is late. We're getting back to posting more regularly, but we've been a little loosey-goosey this summer, and I hope you have been too. We're in the middle. We're in the last half of summer. Did you get all the things you wanted to do? Are you traveling? Huh? Are you staying hydrated in these streets? I am. Look, if you're on video, I'm showing you the pit stains. Instead of changing my shirt, I was like, yo, let me be true to the summertime vibes, dude. And we're all sweating out here. If you're outside trying to get your sunlight and you're trying to be outdoors for just like the minimum amount of time, you're going to have some pit stains, baby. And for years, my whole life, I've been embarrassed having sweaty armpits. And finally, I've come to grips with it. I've accepted myself for who I am, and I'm here and I'm recording. We got pit stains, baby. Check them out. If you're on video, you get to see them. I just, sometimes you got to do what you got to do. I'm trying to do different things artistically, and I feel like owning my pit stains might be one of them. So that's where I'm at. How about you guys? Where you at? Make sure you drink your water, ladies and gentlemen. Drink your water, fellas. If your girl's being more bitchy than usual, just hand her a glass of water. Hand her a glass of chilled water. Hydrated women are likely to be 64% less bitchy if you give them some water. So keep them hydrated, fellas. Okay. So today's episode, we got some fun stories here on Fred Talk. The first one is this is a relationship podcast. So today we're going to talk about different relationships, not just romantic relationships or friendships. We're going to talk about a relationship with like the world. You know what I'm saying? A relationship with other countries, our relationships with social media in general. So this first story is from an account, right? So there's something about it's good to have goals, to hustle, to get and achieve your goals, and sometimes fail and then adapt and overcome and all that. We're all about that here on Fred Talk, right? Following your dream, doing the work to get it in. We're all about that here, but there's a balance. There's a balance to anything, right? And one thing that my qualms with the self-help hustle culture movement is that they don't really laugh at themselves much. There's not a lot of just laughing at yourself, making fun of yourself. The jokes fly way over their head. And I've been noticing that more and more for like hustle culture and all that. So one account that I found is one that makes fun of these intense, be a millionaire, be a billionaire, blah, blah, blah. Few understand this, those types of accounts. If you're into self-help, you've seen these. And it's been giving me so much joy. So much joy, so happy. And then the other day, I found an account that seems like it would be satire, but it's not. This dude is dead serious. So I'm going to show you the first video. I'm going to show you. And if you're not watching on video, it's fine. You can get the audio and get the vibe of the whole thing. I promise you. So the first one I'm going to show you is an actual satire, a satirical account that makes fun of these be a billionaire, blah, blah, blah accounts, right? Then I'm going to show you another video after that. But I got to show you the control group, right? This is one of my favorite accounts on Instagram. It's the account is called Entrepreneur. It's like manure at the end, but entrepreneur, they spell it a little differently. And these guys crack me the hell up with their shit. So let me go ahead and share this screen. Now I feel like now this podcast has become a Zoom call. That's what the podcast has become now, a Zoom call. So screen one, we go share. Can you guys see my screen? All right. So this first thing is boom, here we go. Hold on.
Or taking long showers.
There you go. Some people come up with their best luck.
Long showers. I come up with my best ideas when I'm under pressure.
Someone puts a bag over his head. He's saying he comes up with his best ideas when he's under pressure. Right? He rips the bag open, reverses the dude, chokes him out. Oh, He just got the idea. He runs to the whiteboard.
Dogs. With the dogs.
The dude
Some
that
people
attacked him
come
is
up with
dead.
their
Oh,
best
so
ideas
that
when
is
they're
one of the
on
things that
walk.
cracked me up on this account, right? That's like one of my favorite videos there. And it's making fun of just like the intensity, right? He's like, oh, some people say they come up with their best ideas in the shower on long walks. I do mine when I'm under pressure. And the guy like puts a bag over his head, and in the middle of the fight, he gets the idea, runs to the board. Super funny. This next video, this dude is dead serious, right? And this is one of those men versus women relationship accounts, which I think this has to be a bubble. It's like everyone's just getting a microphone now and speaking confidently and acting like they're saying something. And this dude is one of them. So get ready. This is the those red pill types, man, men, one of those accounts. So oh, video has no sound. Are you fucking kidding me? No. I'm gonna read the subtitles. I don't give a shit. Here we go. They probably shut the sound off because the dude's a jerk off. Actually, once driving my date home, and she said to me, I don't need a man. I said, are you sure? She said, yeah. So I said, get the fuck out of the car and hitchhike. Turned out she got kidnapped. And that's a great example of why women need men. He's dead serious. This is something that I thought I was like, oh, this is one of those joke accounts. He's doing a bit. But this man is dead serious. And the look on his face after he said what I just repeated, what I read from the screen, the look on his face was totally like, yo, I got this shit. He thought he said something. So he's driving his girl home. The girl said, I don't need a man. And he made her hitchhike and she ended up getting kidnapped. I'm hoping he's lying because, I mean, obviously it's sad somebody got kidnapped. But he aided in someone getting kidnapped and thought he was a bigger man because of it. And I just find that shit so hilarious. And it just goes to my point of like, some people just take themselves too damn serious, bro. Like way too damn serious. And he said she got kidnapped, which is a great example of why women need men. You asshole. She wouldn't have gotten kidnapped if you didn't leave her on the side of the road. She was better off staying at home and doing whatever she does, watching reality TV or whatever women do. And then you're gonna say that why women need men, bro. You put her in that situation, and now he's sitting there, legs folded, European style, very comfortable way to sit. I actually like that. Sitting European style, acting like he's at a like a keynote speaker at some like Google Deep Thought or something. Like he's at an AI conference dropping some knowledge, and he really thought he said something. My man aided in a woman getting kidnapped and thought he was more of a man because of it. We've been hitting the end times. If there's things that make you go, oh, this is the end of humanity, and you're just saying that now, you're probably not listening, bro. That's why you just gotta enjoy the fall, bro. You gotta be like this is how I am with society. I'm like the band during the Titanic sinking. We're going to keep playing anyway, baby. As this ship is going down, we're going to play. We're going to do what we love most. We ain't going to let it stop us. Fucking idiot. All right. Speaking of humanity, video has no sound. Why is that? Speaking of humanity, we're actually going to move to a different thing with no video. Bomb on the fly. World's richest beggar is worth nearly $1 million. In Mumbai, India, local media is reporting that beggar Bharat Jain has begged himself to $890,000 by panhandling on the streets of the tech and financial metropolis. He also owns a luxurious 2-bedroom flat. So if you go to this comment, it's under the account wasted. I go, begging is a job. I don't give a fuck what society says, because I really do believe that. Think about it. Panhandling, right? It's looked at in society as the lowest of the low you can do, right? It's the lowest of the low you can do is sit there on a street corner and beg people for money. But a lot of these people, a good amount, make some decent money. Or they at least make enough to keep doing it and keep living the life they want to live. They're living completely free. Now, would I personally do that? Hell no. Hell no. But just because you wouldn't do a job doesn't mean it's a real job. I had some people in the comments hit me like, You're not giving anything to society. Most careers don't give anything to society and they still make money. So that doesn't mean that it's not a real job. That it's not right. What is a job? You make money, you provide for your family, you provide for the lifestyle that you want to live. So I got to give this dude a shout out. He's put himself almost like in the top 1% just by begging. Dude, it's a real job. You think you could stand outside on an intersection for 12 hours a day in the sun, in the middle of the day, begging for money? Hell no. Pride alone. That alone won't let me be a beggar on the streets. It's pride, right? For most of us, right? We think we're too good for it. Maybe we are, whatever. But it sounds like, bro, if you got some suntan lotion, not suntan, sunblock, if you got some sunblock, you can make some dough. And this dude was smart about it. There was a strategy, obviously, right? He's not in the middle of nowhere in Oregon. This man is in the tech district in, a tech financial metropolis, and he's panhandling. And you know those tech people are guilty about how they're destroying the world. So they'll give you money. And they got this man a nice 2-bedroom flat and a luxurious 2-bedroom flat, probably better than a lot of us are doing. So I just wanted to give a shout out to this dude, Bharat Jain, world's richest beggar, almost $1 million net worth, dog. No small business loans, nothing like that. This man's making dough. I could never, right? Some people do OnlyFans. Some people do, they're out here making money. They're out here making dough. Yeah, we're too prideful. Too prideful for begging on the streets. But shout out to this dude. And we're gonna move on to the next story. So give me 1 second. This really just feels like a Zoom call now. And it's okay, because you know what? We're recording this bitch on Zoom, and that's okay. All right, so here we go. Share this screen up in this bitch. Can you guys see my screen now? So this lady gets the clap. Or excuse me, this lady's at church. Oh.
Sorry about that, man. Man came with his penis and put it in my mouth. And then he came again and he slept with me last week. And I told the pastor that I need deliverance again. And since then, my private part has been itching. You've been itching? Yes. Okay. Who are you? Who are you? Who are you? Who are you? Speak. Who are you? Okay. Who are you? Look at that demon. Look at that demon. Look at that demon.
Look at that demon. Uh-oh. He's putting perfume. He's spraying something on her coochie. And she said a demon slept with her and gave her an STD, guys. A demon. When I went to the bathroom, I think 15 minutes later, some white stuff came out. So she has discharge. And she's blaming it on the demon from 2 weeks ago. She slept with him twice.
Together, hallelujah.
Actually, it didn't sound like it was consensual, but yeah, so lady was at church. She said that she got an STD from a demon. He came back in and she needed deliverance. So the dude, he hit her head. You know that, like, I don't know what kind of religion that is, but it's one of those where they speak tongues and they go crazy. So 15 minutes later, after he sprayed her and released her from the demon, there was some white discharge. I hope this lady goes to the doctor, bro. Yo, shout out to church, man. I ain't with it, but I guess, bro, you guys got your hustle, right? What's the difference between church and the dude begging on the street, bro? What, y'all need a nice building and some symbolism for people for it to be okay to beg for money? That's wild. At least a beggar on the street isn't lying and pretending like he's curing an STD because you slept with a demon. Why was the demon in your room anyway? Huh? Yo, why was the demon in your room anyway? White discharge, y'all. I hope this lady, she got the clap, and it can't go unchecked, because then bad things can happen. No, that's HPV. HPV can make women go up. I believe, like, it can make them like sterile, so it can really fuck them up. It does nothing to men. I think HPV just gives men like bumps, And then for women, if it goes unchecked, it could really fuck them up with in regards to like having kids and stuff like that. I'm pretty sure. I haven't checked that one in a minute, so fact check me on that. But it just goes to show you that men need to be out of women's lives. I don't need no men. All right, let's see. Oh my God. So Texas TikToker Sassy Trucker is trapped in Dubai and faces 2 years in prison for screaming at a car rental worker. Bro, this is why I love America. I know that like loving America, if you live in this country, is kind of looked at as like a douchey thing. But I got to tell you how I feel. Like I do love this country. Do I have my, my things with it that could get better? Yeah, but that's everything, right? Every level of your life, even if you like something, there's things that could be better about it for most things. Think about it. Your country, your family, yourself, right? You love yourself, maybe. But you also know that you got some things you need to work on. And this is one of the reasons I love America, because this lady trapped in Dubai faces 2 years in prison for screaming. So screaming in Dubai is punishable by 2 years in prison, which already ain't looking good for black people, bro. Black people, Hispanic people, Italians, any kind of loud culture. But aren't Arabs loud too? Aren't they? They're pretty loud and boisterous and good storytellers and all that. Screaming. So this lady, she's been in Dubai for 3 months already, awaiting figuring out what they're going to do for her. But this just makes me proud to live in America, bro, where you could yell at 7 a.m. and not get arrested for it. I'm sure some people would want other people to get arrested for it, especially introverts. Introverts are probably like, wow, this sounds like actually a really good law, and we should enact this law in the United States. But this is one of those things that makes me super proud to be in the U.S. because you can say whatever you want. This is how I know the country's awesome, right? I'm a comedian. I like to say what I like to say. I don't like people telling me how to speak and all that good stuff. But if I was in Dubai, I would shut the fuck up because it's all contextual, right? Our reality is all based on context. And when you're in some other country, you got to play by their rules. And that's why I love being, if I was in any other country, bro, I would not do well. I'd be arrested. Would have killed myself because I can't express myself freely. So it also makes me love America. On the other end, right? Because a lot of people that say they love America will also tell you they hate New York. They would never be caught living there. Ooh, blah, 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 blah. It's usually the conservative types, right? So I agree with the conservatives on like, I love this country, but I disagree with them on their hate for New York. The only reason America's as cool as it is today, or where it's gotten to where it's gotten, is because of New York. So that you can't hate on one of the best cities in the world just because now you've been politically brainwashed by your mainstream media. That's the funniest thing I found about conservatives is they're the main ones saying, don't get brainwashed by the mainstream media. And they'll watch Fox News, which I think numbers wise is the most popular mainstream media network out there. I had some friends over this weekend from Miami, Cuban guys. So, they're conservative. Cubans typically are OD conservative. And it's because of their culture with communism, right? They're not far removed from like their parents or grandparents having to escape Cuba because of communism. Like, I don't even ask Cubans to share a sandwich with me, dog, just because I don't want to trigger them onto some shit. And then they go off on a rant about how communism, blah, 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 is going to ruin things. So these dudes are from Miami, right? And they are avoiding trying to take the subway. I take the subway everywhere I go. They're avoiding trying to take the subway. They're like trying to get Ubers. And you don't do Ubers on the weekend. You don't do Ubers during traffic. Why would I want to be in stop and go traffic or even stop at lights when I could just go underground and my shit goes straight there? Will you see a homeless man jerking himself off? Maybe. Will you see a performance? Will you see somebody talking to themselves out loud? That's the main one, is seeing someone talk to themselves out loud. I always listen when they do that. I'm like, can I decipher what they're talking about? A lot of the times the things they're saying too aren't wrong. They aren't. But after a while, I finally got them to take one subway ride. I'm like, bro, let's go. Fuck the Uber. And it was good. If you go to New York, you got to at least take the subway once, bro. There's nothing like that in the US. Like, New York's very different from everywhere else in the country. So they get on, and I could tell, this is when I could tell they were being brainwashed by their media, because they were like, man, the subway's not as dangerous as I thought it was. I was like, what do you mean? He's like, I just saw like a girl by herself on the subway. So he thought it was so dangerous that women can't even be alone on the subway. And I'm like, bro, stop letting the media brainwash you, bro. New York's beautiful. Is it a shithole? Yeah, if you want to look at it like that, yeah, it's a shithole. But at the same time, it's also the greatest place, one of the greatest places on earth, dog. So back to my point about loving America and New York. If you love America and then you say you hate New York, that's un-American right there, right? You can't hate the thing, the catalyst that made the U.S. what it is, bro. You got I feel like you got to appreciate all parts of it, the good, the bad, and the ugly. Same thing when foreigners talk shit about America's violent, America's this, and you stand up and you're like, oh, this is my country. It's the same thing with New York, dog. It's just a different accent. But it's dangerous, just like people claim the US is, even though it's just pockets of places or where the danger are. You can have a good time for the most part. So I find it very un-American when people say I hate New York. And it's funny too, because it's one of those places where I tell people I live in New York. If it's a group of people, there will always be one person that'll be like, I could never live there. I could never live there. And I respond the same thing. I'm like, yeah, it ain't for the weak. And then I see where the conversation goes. If they get mad, they're probably not my type. But usually if people laugh and then, we make a joke about it and then I draw some points. But I feel bad. Hopefully Sassy Trucker, this TikToker, can get back to the States, man. Hope she gets back safe. But this really, a story like this just really makes you appreciate living in the United States of America, dog. Shit is crazy. Shit is crazy. So, all right. The last story of the day. The husband behind the dress that broke the internet charged with attempted murder. They had to have been arguing about the color of the dress, right? I saw blue and gray. I saw white when I first saw it. Then once I saw blue and black, I could never go back to seeing the white dress. But the husband behind the dress that broke the internet charged with attempted murder on wife. All right, he's charged with attempted murder of wife. Typically, the spouse is the first candidate. So already, you by getting married, you already put yourself in danger of being accused of murder. Like, what if you married a clumsy girl, dog? If you married a clumsy lady and she just happened to accidentally trip, fall, and kill herself, you got to make sure that y'all didn't have an argument that morning. Things were good. The evidence doesn't kind of lead back to you in some way. Like, you got to be on a week-long business trip to get out of that one, because you're literally the first person they're going to go to. Or ladies, don't marry a clumsy dude, right? Clumsy dude trips down the stairs. The spouse is the number one suspect. You're the first person they're going to try to clear out. Then you have to decide, like, not decide, but you have to hope that the detective that's on your case doesn't hate your gender. So if it's a lady detective or a fella detective, you got to make sure that the lady don't hate men and that the dude's not some misogynist, right? Because the woman detective is gonna be like, fuck men, all men are trash. This dude's going down, right? And so naturally that bias is gonna try to connect the murder of this lady to the dude when she was just being a clumsy bitch. You feel me? And then same thing if it's a dude that hates women. Think about some guy. He's a loser, doesn't believe in himself, and instead of making himself better, he projects that onto women and says women are trash, women are gold diggers, and then you date a dude that's clumsy, right? He's not very athletic. He's not very kinesthetically aware, right? He's not aware of his body. And the dude fucking slips innocently, cracks his head on the counter. Now you got to make sure that you ain't charged for first degree murder, for planning it out. Because usually I feel like if you do kill, if a woman kills her husband, that is definitely murder, because you got to plan that out, right? That's a little bit more like there's probably some strategy going on in there, because it'd be hard for a woman to be like, heat of the passion, beat the shit out of her dude. Oh, unless she smacked him with a pot. Unless she smacked him with a pot. You know what, dude? I actually take that back, dude. I did stereotypes. I claim that women weren't able to murder a man, manslaughter, in the heat of passion. And I just corrected myself, because if she's standing there and just takes a cast iron skillet to the fucking, she just swings her body around like she played softball for 2 years in high school, and she uses that, bang, and hits him with a cast iron, and he's out, dude. Women can manslaughter too, fellas, all right? Don't be like me and just assume things. Women can kill in the heat of passion. It's not just men. But that's terrifying. So already getting married, you upped your chances of going to prison just potentially for just an accident. 38-year-old Keir Johnston allegedly committed an 11-year campaign of domestic violence actions and control against his wife, all leading up to a moment last March in which he allegedly attempted to kill her by pinning her to the ground and compressing her neck, choking her. I feel like if I would have wrote that, I'd be like choking the shit out of her, compressing her neck. Compressing her neck sounds like they're trying to minimize what this dude did. Keir has denied all allegations. This time, the attempted murder case will have its preliminary hearing in the trial in 2024. Damn, so these are just allegations. 11-year campaign of domestic violence actions and control against his wife. There's got to be one video. 11 years. After 11 years, you got to have some video, right? At some point, you record someone when they're like yelling at you just so you can have proof. I don't know. Keir has denied all allegations against him at this time. The attempted murder case, bro. Guess his 5 minutes of fame are up. And also, here's how much of a fucking idiot I am. They really could not agree on the dress color, which was the joke I made. That it's now in the comments. Oh no, this dude's a comedian. I feel less bad, but still hate that somebody else came up with the joke and I came up with it seeming original. And we're going to end on that note. Follow my stuff, guys. I love you. Stay hydrated. Hydrate these hoes. Keep these hoes hydrated. Also, ladies, keep these men hydrated because I feel like if you keep your man hydrated, you decreases your chances of getting murdered by 36%. That's it for Fred Talk. Bye.